Hi there. I have a neighbor that's across the street, and they have this adorable little shed in their backyard, and I thought I might paint it this morning. I definitely want to get outside. It is a beautiful sunny day on a day off, and that is amazing. So I think I want to get outside, but first I'm going to paint this cutie. What I did was I got my core watercolors out, and I tested a few different colors. I have sap green, cobalt teal, quin gold deep, Hansa yellow light, and nickel azo yellow. I think what I've determined is that I'm going to use cobalt teal, quin gold deep, and nickel azo yellow. This sap green looks very much like this color right here, which is what I mixed using cobalt teal, quin gold deep, and nickel azo yellow. It is so close that I think I'm just going to go with that. There was debate of whether I wanted to use that Hansa yellow light because I really liked this green, but I think that I like the earthy color of a sap green. So I was going to try to mix it for you real quick, but I'm not doing a very good job. I'll put a little bit of quin gold deep in it to tone it down and see what that looks like. I mean, that's lovely too. That's lovely too. Let me dry that real quick. So that is a lovely earthy green as well, using the Hansa yellow light as opposed to the nickel azo yellow. So both of those would be wonderful, wonderful options. I just really, really love that cobalt teal and what it does on the page. I mean, what it does on the palette as well. The separation, I just think is gorgeous. It's just a little happy surprise in there. So I'm going to see if I can do this any justice. The little shed is up against a hill. So like all in here is all hill. And I don't know how easy it's going to be to get that in there. Maybe I should block out some trees right off the bat. And my shed is wonky. I think that's the theme. The theme of my paintings are wonky. They just always are. And that's okay. It's all right to be wonky. That tree's up on the hill. There are a bunch of trees on the hill, but all of the ones up front look to me like they're right nestled, like right next to the shed. I'll put one down here. A little one. Okay, that'll help. Okay, I think I'm going to start by putting in the hill, the leaves and such. So quin gold deep, a little bit of cobalt teal to tone it down, and it makes a lovely brown. It was a very overcast day, so there are no real shadows except for like right under these eaves. We've been having so much rain in Maine, and that's why I'm excited about getting outside today. I have an area where I like to sit in a chair and drink my coffee and listen to birds. And I'm excited to get it cleaned up because it's like covered in leaves and, you know, leftover last year stuff. I want to get it cleaned up for this year. It really is like my happy place, honestly. Okay, then I'm going to put in some of the green. So this one we made with Hansel Yellow Light. I'm going to get rid of that. Bye-bye. And make another one. And just like that, a beautiful green. Let's dab some of that in. Okay. It's a great first start. I think that I want to put in some grass here. I really like this mix, but I want to make it brighter for the grass. So, oops, I used Hansel Yellow Light. I don't want that. I'm trying not to use that. Okay, so get back Cobalt and Nickel Azo Yellow. And then tiniest touch of Quingle Deep, just to, there we go. That's nice. Okay, and I'm going to put that in here. Okay, now I'm going to dab in some white gouache because there are dandelions in there, and I want them. You know, the little fluffy bits. Oops. That would probably work with water as well, but I feel like using this. Now it does look like the background isn't, the trees isn't dark enough, and that's okay. I can go and fix that in a little bit. How cute is that? Oh my goodness. I've just contaminated my white. Let's pull it out. Put it here. really cute. Put a couple more up here. Of course, the ones that are closer are going to be bigger. Okay. Oops. All right, in true Karen fashion, this needs to be darker. I think I'm going to dry it and then darken that up. Look how beautiful that is right there. It's a shame I'm going to darken it up because that is just so pretty. Goodness. Oh well, we can darken it up. It's got to be done. Okay, just really loosely. There we go. And now I'm going to splatter some green on, just like we did before. And do some dabbies. And just different shades of green. Okay, now the green I'm putting around here isn't necessarily all here in the photo, but I'm doing it anyway because I like it. There is some green like right over here, but there's not much here, but I just really liked how it looked, so I'm rolling with it. Okay. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit of that down here. Dab it in because there is like a shadow of sorts close to the woods from where the canopy is kind of hanging over. Even though it was an overcast day, it's still kind of there. Okay, it's all dry. I've added a darker background, more leaves, some darker grass here from where the canopy is kind of covering, and I think it's coming together. I think I'm going to start with the trees now, and I think I'm going to save the little shed for last. So the trees, I'm going to make a gray using cobalt. Cobalt teal and Quin Gold Deep. Let's see. So it's kind of green but kind of gray at the same time. I'm going to see if I can add some white gouache to it and see what that does. Let's find my spot from earlier. That's not going to be enough. Let's do this. Oh no, I don't want there. Right here. Dish. I have a bunch of spots on my dish that are dried. Sometimes I will re-wet them and use just a dab, but usually I'll get out a new one. And I'm okay with that. I don't feel like I'm wasting it because I feel like I'm using it over time. And if I have to buy another tube of white gouache, I don't care because I love using it. So it is what it is. Okay, so I've added white, and look at that. It's like a nice buff color. Kind of similar to the buff titanium that Daniel Smith has. Okay, so I'm just going to see what that looks like. Just in here. Okay, and I think I'm going to make up a darker color. That's a deep, like, green. And I'm all right with that. So I'm thinking I'm going to add that in here and there. See that coming together? I think that looks nice. It's just very loose and interesting, I think. Okay, and a little bit more of that. And actually, let's get a little bit more white here. So it doesn't look so stripey. I like it. I think it's cool. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna try adding a couple little trees. Why not? Here, here. I like that. Ooh, that's coming together. I do. It looks more like woods now than just messy yard. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to focus on the little shed now. Now the roof is kind of like a gray. It's actually plywood, it looks like. And then the door, I'm going to make like a cobalt teal. And, you know, this is just kind of a dingy white. I think I'm just going to go like this. See what that looks like. I think that works, honestly. I think that works. And then, I do regret not choosing something that can make a nice dark black. I don't know if I should just go ahead and introduce, yeah, we're going to introduce Payne's Gray and see what happens. I just think it's necessary. I might need to put some elsewhere to make it more cohesive, but for now, let's just see how it looks here. So we need black in the windows. And then a deep dark under here. And I also want to put it on the roof. I am mixing it with the other colors so that hopefully that kind of helps. All right, I'm going to put some of that up in the trees, here and there. So that it looks like it belongs. I think that works. Well, it's working. Yeah, I think it's working. Okay, I'm also thinking maybe I need to mix it with some green and put it in for leaves. So I'm going to take the mix I had before, add a tiny bit of Payne's Gray to it, and make it really deep. Okay. And then just dab it in here and there. Then I'm going to add a little bit more of cobalt and plop it in near those. You know, I'm just kind of making it up as I go. That's all we can do, is just make it up as we go. Okay, now I'm going to do the door, which I want to be cobalt. And I'm wondering, do I add a little bit of that Payne's gray into it? I think maybe. So, cobalt, tiniest dot of Payne's gray. That's pretty thin. I want it to be thicker. There we go. Not exactly like the picture, but that's all right. And then I think I'm gonna dry this, and then I'm gonna add some like boards to the shed. I'm kind of wondering if some nickel azo yellow up there in the trees would be pretty. Let's see. You can barely see it. Let's just get rid of that. You can barely see it. Okay. Boards. So I'm going to take a liner brush and this gray that we've mixed up and just see if I can get some like little lines here. Ooh, got a hair. Let's see if I like it. I do like it. All right, let's put some on the front. Not a bunch of them, just a little bit here and there. There we go. I think that's good. All right, and then I'm going to add a shadow. I'm going to take that gray, mix it with my door color, and put just like right under the little Z. Even though it's not a shadowy kind of day, there is, there's still going to be darkness under these kind of items. And then I'm going to do the same thing with a white. There we go. There's also dark around the window, and I really like that. So, Payne's gray, mix it all up with all these colors. And it's kind of like a little trim around. It's a little stark. So what I'm going to do is blend it up. Well, maybe. And down. Make it look weathered. Chipped. Kind of like mascara. There we go. I think that's better. Okay. A little bit of white, gouache, and I'm going to clean up this area right here and over here. It's not perfectly white. It's mixed in with paint, but that's okay. It's all right because it's weathered. Okay, and underneath roof line are pieces of wood, the beams, so I'm just going to put the shadows in. There we go. And I'm going to do a little bit of more of the roof to make it look a little more textured. Talking and painting is harder than you realize it is until you start doing it. Just a heads up. I think that's really cute. It's really, really cute. I'm just going to add a little more texture into these trees just for, you know, funsies. A lot of white spaces. I didn't necessarily want all the white back there. That's alright. It's alright. As I continue to fix it, it's alright. There! I think it's adorable. I think it's adorable. I'm going to take the tape off. Now, the little dandelions could have been a little stronger. So actually, before I take the tape off, let's just bring some of those up a little bit. I don't know if that did anything. Not really. Didn't really make it better. Not really. Okay. In fact, the dandelions didn't need to be there at all. Let's take the tape off. Oh gosh. So cute. Look at that. So cute. I thought I was finished, but I'm not, because I don't like that around the windows. I think I'm going to touch it up with a little bit of whitewash. Right there. That makes me happier. I actually kind of think, wouldn't it be cute with little crosses in there? You know what I'm saying? Oh, do I want to do it? Do I want to do it? I'm going to try it. Let's see. I've got my liner brush. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, do I want to do it? Let's try. Cross. Oh, I like that. I like that. Let's just leave it at that. I think that's so cute. That's perfect. Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so happy you're here. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.